Cubeworks with you for the PlayStation VR.
Let's begin!
First up, let's take a look at the gameplay. In this game you must connect faces of cubes together. To grab a cube you simply aim at the one you want and hold the T button. To rotate a cube you rotate the move controller, or to make them rotate quicker you can hold the move button whilst moving the move controller slightly. Holding the move button to rotate them faster can be a bit finicky, so I didn't use this feature most of the time. If a cube falls into the hole which is around you, you get a strike. If you get 3 strikes it's game over, so you really have to be careful when placing cubes around you. You'll also receive a strike if a cube reaches the end of a conveyor belt. Grabbing a cube right at the very end of its journey not only gives you a sigh of relief, but also grants a score bonus, so there is an incentive to grab them at the very last possible moment. There is a couple of different ways that the cubes can connect. The first is combos, which are achievable by stacking cubes onto one another and then connecting a cube in the middle, forcing the top cube to fall down and slot into place onto the bottom one. But doing this action gives you a better score and more time is added to the timer. The other connection type is called a multi-match. These are achieved by connecting 3 or more cubes together at exactly the same time. These are also a bit tricky to pull off, as timing is key and the cubes do have a physics engine on them, so you have to be quite precise when slotting the faces together, otherwise you could knock over your neatly stacked pile. This action also grants a score bonus and extra time. Luckily you can get special cubes that help you pull off these tricky actions. You get special cubes by chucking 3 parts into a hole. When the special cube is connected to another cube, it is activated. These special abilities are slow motion, which helps connecting multi-matches much easier. There is also an auto connect ability, which automatically rotates a cube to a matching face, and there is also a strike remover cube, which takes one of your strikes away. In total there are 4 tutorial levels and 20 normal levels to complete. The objectives in the 20 levels are actually quite varied. You do get reoccurring objectives such as connecting a certain amount of cubes together, and levels where you can only match certain faces of cubes for points, but there is also levels where you must chuck a certain amount of parts into a hole, and one where you must connect cubes that are coming towards you in mid-air. I was actually pleasantly surprised by the variation of objectives the game presents to you from location to location. Just over halfway through the game, some of the level's objectives require you to connect cubes using either the combo cube or the multi-match method. These can be hard to pull off with a physics engine, and I did find it a bit frustrating. Luckily, you only need to attempt a level in the game to unlock the next one. If you get 3 strikes or run out of time in the level, the next level is still unlocked. This is great considering there is so much variety and everyone will prefer certain challenges to others. There are also global leaderboards for you to attempt to get a high score in. Now let's take a look at how immersive this game is. The location's backgrounds can be quite blurry, but the conveyor belts and cubes do have great depth. The parts on the cube faces really do pop up, so you always know exactly how they should be rotated for them to connect. The red beam emitting from the move controllers is always easily seeable, so you won't have trouble when aiming for your next cube. When cubes are connected with one another, they explode and pieces fly off in different directions. It really does look quite spectacular when you have the slow motion ability activated, and the shattering sound is quite satisfying. When a cube is reaching the end of the conveyor belt, an alarm is heard. This is great considering you may be focused on stacking cubes up. The music is of a sci-fi style and fits perfectly with each of the facility's locations. The tempo is perfect for the fast-paced and urgent nature of the game. Now let's take a look at the setup and what controllers the game supports. I played this game in a standing position just over 2 meters away from the camera. The head tracking was perfect and the game did not make me motion sick. You really do have to stand for this game, as you must use all the platform around you to place cubes on for later use. Standing also allows you to place cubes onto towers more easily. Being seated obstructs you from doing this. This game requires 2 move controllers to play. The other controllers are not supported. Now let's take a look at the length of the game and what trophies come with it. It took me around an hour and 3/4 to play every stage, but some I did not complete. Some levels' challenges were not to my liking, so I simply moved on to the next one. Game times will vary a lot depending on whether you want to get the gold medal in each stage or not. The trophies really are quite varied, and do have very welcome challenges attached to them. In total there are 20 trophies that can be achieved. All 20 of them are bronze. Some are rewarded for simple actions such as chucking a cube into the recycle bin, or for completing the tutorial levels. You also get your normal ones for completing all the stages in a location, but you also get some creative ones too, such as getting a high score by using only one hand. Just like the levels themselves, there is quite a lot of variety here. It's a bit of a shame that there isn't a platinum rewarded, as some of the tasks are quite difficult, such as earning a gold medal in all of the stages. And now it's time for the verdict. The level variety here is great, and a lot of the levels I did really enjoy. Unfortunately though, when the levels require you to do the more advanced cube connecting techniques, the game does become incredibly frustrating. You have to line up the cube faces very precisely when aiming for a combo or a multi-match, and as you are on a time limit, the game doesn't allow you the time to be as careful as you want to be. If you miss and your stacked up cubes topple over, it's very annoying to say the least. Halfway through the game, I found myself fighting with the physics engine quite a bit, which took away the puzzle solving fun. The main mechanic of simply connecting two cube faces together is great to perform, and the added depth really does complement this type of game. If you are a puzzle fan, there will most likely be stages that you like and stages that you will dislike. I really did have a love-hate relationship with this game. It is certainly a game that will require a lot of determination and patience. The main concept of the game works incredibly well for VR. I just wish the physics engine was a little more lenient with mistakes, especially with the fast-paced nature of the game. As always, if you enjoyed this review, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more PlayStation VR content.